Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. Today we're cutting sprinkler drops. Let me pick you up here and I will show you what's going on. I've already cut a couple in here, you could see. I don't know, I'll walk you up this ladder. This is one of the complaints about this camera, is it's not very detailed, but there you go. Let me turn on your old flashlight. So there's what we got, an arm over and a drop, a nipple and a drop. Some are arm overs I need to cut, but that's what we have now. So I'm gonna put you in the old time shift or time lapse or what do you want to call it, and maybe I'll do a voiceover or maybe I'll just put music behind it. I don't know, but I'm gonna set you up and you can watch me work. People like to watch other people work for some reason, so let's get to work. Come on. We got 6 drops to do in here and then another room later and a whole school while I'm resting. All right, let's get to work. Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. Well, as you can see, I'm doing a little voiceover over this time-lapse video. So you get to hear me talk about what I'm basically doing here. I'm cutting these drops. We do what we call a rough-in, where we rough in all the pipe before there's any kind of T-bar or grid system. So I measured a couple drops. Now I'm grabbing the camera and I'm taking you down to the pipe machine. I should probably carry that pipe machine upstairs, but it is so heavy that you could pull your back out just getting it upstairs. So I left it right here and I just cut 2 drops at a time, sometimes 3, and then I would go back upstairs. But today I left that pipe machine downstairs and I was just going back and forth. I count the steps. It's 26 steps one way, so it's not too big of a trip. 26 steps. You just counted them, didn't you? Alright, so I just measured up those 2 and now I'm gonna stick them in. So it takes a little bit of time to drain the drops, and we don't want to make a mess because the walls, some walls are painted and you can see they have the cabinets up, so we don't really want to make any of that black water on these pipes. So that's why I always use that water sock. You'll see me use a barrel and a water sock, you know, so you don't really want to make a mess. So you'll see me pull that water sock up right there, and that's what I'm doing. I get that old black water right in that barrel. And I'm surprised a lot more people don't use that water sock. They just use a bucket, but not me. I really love that stuff. Alright, so I'm taking a couple more measurements and draining them. That's what I do. I usually drain a couple and let them drain while I go down and cut them. So there I'm making some more. Now usually if we were really behind on schedule, we'd have a helper, and a helper would be going down and cutting and doing all this threading while I'm continuing to get more measurements. But not today. I'm doing the helper's work and the fitter's work, so I get double duty, but they don't pay me double pay. It's just the same amount. But you can see there's a lot of work into prefabbing a fire sprinkler. So I get those 2 up and I get them in, you know. It's funny how fast I can work with this thing, but when you're there on the job, it seems to go kind of slow for me. But I'm getting kind of older, and I tell you what, you climb up and down an 8-foot ladder all day, and then like I said, those 26 stairs, 2 flights. Well, I'm not complaining because all this work does keep me young. So about this point, I switched the camera to my helmet cam. That's right, so I don't know if I like this view. It might be too fast, but this is the helmet cam, so I have the camera strapped to my helmet with a little clip. And that's what I do. I get a couple measurements and write it on the drop so I don't forget it. And that's what I'm doing here. So that you can see that helmet cam is just too much back and forth. I don't know if I like that. Well, anyway, good thing the battery ran out on me. Right about here, the battery ran out, so I had to go back to put the camera in the dock. Well, evidently not. That's still on my head. So yeah, that's kind of nice. You get to see me with the camera on my head. So I kind of like that view, but it is a little bit too fast. But anyway, that's me cutting a drop and cutting an arm over. I like to use Teflon and pipe dope. Some people only use Teflon, some people only use dope. I like to use both. Don't tell anybody, but it is my little secret. That's how I sleep really well at night. Well, there you go. You see me making that pipe up as fast as I can, you know. I'm trying to impress somebody. I don't know if it's you or the boss or my wife or the Lord, but I'm just always trying to work as hard as I can. And I tell you what, if you work as hard as you can, your day goes by pretty fast. I found out when you try to mess around on the job and do nothing, boy, that day just goes by really slow, like an old turtle. But when you stay busy, you look down at your watch and all of a sudden, well, the day is done. Well, you can see that look at me jerking on that stuff. Right about here, I'm done. Well, there you go. I got one more drop, but as always, I want to thank you again for letting me do a little voiceover work and talk to you this way. I don't know how it'll turn out, but I guess it's better than just listening to music. Alright, you know the drill. Peace, love, hippie jazz. Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. I've got a little cock to my camera. A little cock to my camera. A little cock to my camera. Alright. Let me straighten out my little cock to my camera. There you go. Well, here we go. We just finished putting in these drops, and you were a witness to that. So we got 10 drops. So I got 10 drops in, and the day's still got another hour or two. That one came straight down. Kind of dark in here. I kind of ran out of battery. I measured all these up, so I got all my measurements. And now I just got to go downstairs and cut them. You know, this one's a little frustrating. You know, good thing I'm not running into this a lot. You see how the drop down piece is longer than the T-bar? Well, that kind of screws up my speed of my level, and I don't know, it just messes me up. Wah, there's always something to cry about. Yeah, this is something that bugs me too, all this cable on the ground. Well, there you go. That's where I'm at this undisclosed location. Cutting drops. I got a lot more to do. I can take you out here just a real quick. As soon as I put them in, they're putting up more T-bar. Watch this. There's the T-bar right there going in as fast as this T-bar does not mess around. Yeah, here they are with their T-bar. And they just snap that in, they blow and go. I like this guy has a little fan on him wherever he works. Look at that fan. All this is done. So yeah, I'm getting there. All right, this is what it looks like with no T-bar. Let's see if these rooms are ready. Oh yeah, lights are in, rooms are ready. All right, well, it looks like I got plenty of work for tomorrow and the next day. What's in here? Is this anything? More work, more work. Okay. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Fire Sprinkler Cutting Drops Adventures. That didn't come out right. Fire Sprinkler Cutting Drops Adventures. I guess that sounds right. That's what I did. All right. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.